Welcome to tutorial number 3 for the exOrion Project Assistant. If you haven't done tutorials number 1 and 2, I would highly recommend that you do them. In fact, you need to complete tutorial 1, the setup, in order for your tool to work. Okay, we're now going to go to show you how you hand a copy of your project plan to your project assistant so that it can produce reports for you. We go on to slide number 9. On slide number 9, you'll see a series of instructions here. We're actually going to go through this list visually so that you don't have to read this. You can read it if you like, but you don't have to. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open your Microsoft project plan, the one that you are generating your reports for. Here's my generic plan. I created a generic project plan here. I'll make this a bit smaller. Okay. So here's my project plan, and I'm going to go to File and Save As. Now, when the Save As window appears, you go down to the Save As type, and you change. This is a drop down here. You click on the drop down. You want to select Excel 97-2003 Workbook. Okay. You're now creating a snapshot of your project plan in Excel format. And we're going to click Save now. I already have a file with this name. It's okay. I'm going to save this one over and replace the last file. What pops up next is the Export Wizard. If you did the setup sequence, you would recognize this window. We canceled it that time, but now we're going to actually use it. When you see the Export Wizard window, click Next. When you see the Export Wizard Data window, make sure Selected Data is chosen, it's default, and click Next. In the Export Wizard Map window, pick Use Existing Map. That's the one that you have to switch because you've already created your map, and you click Next. If you did the setup, you recognize this particular item here. This is your full map. This is how you create a snapshot of your project plan in a format that your assistant can use. So you click on Full Map, click Finish. Okay, we've got a snapshot of that project plan. Now we're going to go and take that copy I've stored here. Oh, it's already open. Okay, I'm going to click on the cornerstone, which is the top left corner, once with the left button, and then right click and copy. This is going to copy the entire spreadsheet. No matter how many tasks I have in here, it'll copy the entire spreadsheet. Now I'm going to go over to my assistant and hand my assistant my detailed project plan. I right click once, left click once, and then right click, and then I paste. And it pastes a copy of all of this information. When I created my project plan and when you create your project plan, you don't fill in all this information. Microsoft Project does a lot of calculations. That information is useful, and that's what your assistant uses to create your reports. Okay. The last step I will show you with respect to the project plan is there's a refined process that you need to do. So we're going to go to, just scroll over to your right, you'll see right about AF through AJ. I have two buttons here. They're in this particular position for a reason. You're about to see why. The first one that you need to click on, the first button you need to click on, is not Create My Project Plan. It's Refine It. You want to refine it first. So you go ahead and click on Refine. That suddenly made some changes there. It doesn't change any data that is relevant to what you need to present. It's just making certain the data is can be processed by your assistant so that reports don't have error messages. And now we're going to create my project plan. This is where I take this very confusing looking spreadsheet and convert it into a form of the project plan that looks pretty close to identical to your Microsoft project plan, but one that you can provide to people who don't have Microsoft Project, but that might be on your team. If you have Adobe Acrobat, as you saw from an earlier sequence, you could go ahead and set your print settings and do a snapshot of this project plan and send it out to to your team or to anybody who asks for it. And again, you notice there's a filter selection on each of the columns here. This is important. If name 3 says to you, I would like to for you to send me a project plan with just my tasks. I want to know what all my tasks are and when they're due. When I hear that kind of a question, it makes my stomach turn because I know how much work it's going to take to pull that together. Well, all you have to do is click on that drop down, unselect all these choices, just pick number 3 because he's the one that you want to get the detailed tasks for. And there you go. Number 3 now has every single task in the project plan with the duration, the start, the finish date, and so on. You can hide columns if you want to, but you created that specialized report for name 3 in about 3 clicks. We're going to unfilter that. Anyways, that's it. That's how you load a copy of your detailed project plan, into your assistant so that your assistant can begin to create reports. In a subsequent tutorial, we're going to go through creating your agenda and why the agenda is structured the way that it is, and then the same thing for the status update.